This is Ava. She's 13, and in 2022, this 18-year-old boy sent her $600 to do something unbelievable, and that was the beginning of her problem. Okay, so one day, Eric was scrolling through TikTok watching dancing and lip-syncing videos from random creators, and all of a sudden, he stumbled on someone that really caught his attention. This girl, Ava. Ava is 13, she has over 1 million followers on TikTok, and she makes really interesting videos almost every day. So Eric watched one of her videos and it stirred something up in him, and he was like, no, this is so good, I need to see more. And so he clicked into her profile, started viewing every single video and photo she had ever created from top to bottom. But it wasn't enough. So he looked her up on Instagram and Snapchat and consumed all the content she had posted. At this point, Eric told himself he had to make friends with Ava and he would do anything to catch her attention. So he starts dropping comments on every single video she creates on TikTok. And when she didn't reply, he jumped to her Snapchat, then to her Instagram, and then back to TikTok. Still, he didn't get a reply. But that doesn't stop Eric. In fact, he takes it a level up. He slides into her DM, drops her a message, and just waits. And to his greatest surprise, Ava replied. Without wasting time, he tells her he's a sucker for her content and that he has watched every single video she has ever posted across her social media platforms. And Ava is mind blown. They do a little bit of back and forth, and then he makes a surprising request. He asked if he could buy some of her selfies. Ava thought about it and then asked her parents if it was okay, and they were like, sure, it's okay as long as they are appropriate. So Ava tells Eric it's okay, and he sent her some money and she sent him some pictures she already has on Snapchat. Great deal, but there was a problem. Eric now had Ava's Venmo, so he started messaging her directly. And if it was just a normal, friendly kind of messages, it would have been perfectly fine. But he was asking for a different kind of picture, the types that are usually shared to only fans. Ava was shocked to the bone, so she quickly blocked him on Venmo and all her social media accounts. But again, that doesn't stop Eric. He goes online, searches for Ava's classmates, and pays them to send him more pictures of her, and they agree. But it doesn't end there. He also pays a premium to get her phone number. And so he started texting her, begging her to unblock him so they can be cool again. But Ava said no, so Eric sends her $600 and tells her that's all the money he has and that she should please reconsider. But that gets Ava scared and she's thinking, what kind of human being does that? So she runs to her dad and tells him everything. Now, her dad, Mr. Rob, is a retired police lieutenant with a no-nonsense attitude. So he sends Eric a strongly worded text ordering him to stop contacting his daughter. A few days pass and Ava doesn't get any text from Eric, and so everyone is relieved. Plus, Eric lives in Maryland while Ava and her dad live far away in Naples, Florida, so there's nothing to worry about, or so they thought. One night, Ava, her dad, mom and brothers were sleeping like every other night, and all of a sudden they hear a loud bang on their front door. Immediately, Mr. Rob jumped out of bed and ran to the parlor to find out what was going on. And when he got there, he found a blast hole in the door and a man standing right in front of it with a shotgun. That man was Eric Rohan, Ava's stalker. Now, Mr. Rob recognizes him, but before he can say a word, Eric cocks the gun, points it at him, and shoots. Lucky for him, the shotgun jams, and so Eric turns around and runs out of the house. Quickly, Mr. Rob followed up but hit his leg on something before he could catch up, allowing Eric to get away. So Mr. Rob rushes back into the house, picks up his own weapon, and returns to the front yard to secure it, just in case. And to his greatest surprise, he sees Eric walking towards him with the shotgun. And so he orders Eric to lower his weapon, but instead, Eric cocks it, so he quickly shoots. And Eric falls to the ground and gives up the ghost. Shortly after, the cops arrived, and when they searched Eric's body, they found 2 phones on him with literally thousands of Ava's pictures in them. And so, after investigations, they concluded the shooting was justifiable under Florida's Stand Your Ground law, so Mr. Rob did not face any legal issues. Few days later, Ava resumes posting her dancing and lip-syncing videos on TikTok and other platforms, and everything is going well. But shortly after, another guy began to harass her online and stalk her in school. So Ava tells her dad talks to the school authority, but they do nothing. So he dragged the guy to court, but on the day of the hearing, the case was dismissed. To avoid stories that touch, Ava's parents pulled her out of school and started homeschooling her. Today, her main TikTok account is down and she hasn't posted on Instagram since December last year. Hopefully, she's okay.